Spurgeon here with RevZilla, and in this video we're going to break down the 100% Armega goggles available at RevZilla.com. So what you're going to see on the table is probably one of the coolest pair of goggles that I've seen in a while. I bought a pair, these guys right here, as soon as they came out. My buddy Matt Broughton bought a pair, those right there. So you'll notice that they're already dirty and used because we've been testing these for the past couple of weeks. So why these are important? First of all, if you've ever tried to change your goggle lenses on the side of the trail using old traditional 100% goggles, I've been using the Accurys and the Racecrafts for years. They are damn near impossible to do without creating a giant mess and getting the goggle lenses all smeared up. And if you're trying to do it on the side of the trail, you have to give yourself like 5 minutes, no exaggeration. So the biggest advancement that you're going to see with these is the quick replacement lenses. So we'll get to that in just a moment. You're also going to see the lens design has changed as well. So it's now going to be a hard plastic 3D injected molded lens, and you're going to have 3 different variations to the lens. So that's been a significant change. And then as we walk through this as well, you're going to see the way they've designed the foam to the back of this has changed significantly as well. So it's a pretty innovative goggle design when we're looking at what we've seen from 100% up until this point and really what you're getting with this one. So let's break that down right now, starting with the price. The price on these is going to range from $90 with the clear lenses up to around $120 for the hyper lenses, and that's H-I-P-E-R. The mirrored lenses sit in between there around the $100 mark. And just keep in mind, RevZilla has a price match guarantee, so you are guaranteed to get the lowest price. But the biggest significant talking point here is that this is a big jump up from their Racecraft goggles. The Racecraft goggles came in around the $65 to $75 mark, depending on the lens configuration you wanted to go with. When you're looking at these, you're now starting around the $90 mark, working your way up to the $120 mark. And the biggest miss that I think that we're seeing from 100% with this is that if I go with the mirrored lens or if I go with the hyper lens, I no longer get the clear lens included in the box. You have to purchase that separately. So if you're like me and you're riding in the woods, just know that right out of the gate, you're not going to just need to buy the mirrored lens. You're also going to have to make sure you get a set of the clears as well for when the sun begins to go down or you're really deep in the woods and you don't need that extra mirroring on the goggle lenses itself. The other thing that you're not going to see included is the tear-off. So with the Racecrafts, a lot of the Racecrafts would come with those tear-offs included. Those will have to be bought separately now. You will still see that they include the post. But again, you're going to lose some of those inclusions that you got with the cheaper goggles. So what are you getting now to justify that? So in my opinion, and like I said, I actually personally went out and bought a pair of these as soon as they came out. I've been riding in them and I've been very impressed. First and foremost, at my last event that I did before I got these was an event called Dirty Dabbers here on the East Coast. I had a problem with my lenses. There was like a scratch that went across. It was driving me insane. And I went to change the lens out in the trail and it just turned into a nightmare and it took way too long. So the first thing that really impresses with me is how quickly these do change out. So what you'll see on either side, you can actually kind of see it back here, there's a little hinge bracket on either side. So all you want to do when you want to first start off is you just simply pull up on that hinge and it unhinges the goggle, or the lens rather, from the goggle structure. You want to do that on both sides. So once that's loose, you want to start by just pulling out the bottom, and the bottom just kind of snaps in right there, and the whole lens simply pops out. So once that's out, you can easily change it over to a mirrored lens or a clear lens. And what you'll notice too is that if you had a pair of the old 100% goggles, they all use the same lens structure. This is now going to be a hard lens. And like I said, this is a 3D injected molded lens. And when we get up into the hyper, the biggest difference you'll see there over the mirrored is the contrasting that you're going to get within that lens. So again, hard, clear, 3D molded goggle lens to this compared to the old one, big innovation, holds that pre-curve and allows them to make a more aggressive pre-curve to the goggle body itself. Now, quickly putting this back together, I find that the easiest way to do it is to hold it in my right hand, and you want to start with the nose bridge, and you just want to get that nose bridge down into place. You'll notice that the 2 small clamps on the bottom on either side fall right into place as well, and then you just need to make sure that that top section falls into the little clamp at the top. Once that's into place, you simply grab your snaps on either side, and you snap them over, and you are set to go ride. There you go. I mean, it's literally as easy as that. And if you've ever tried to do the outgoing 100% goggles, you realize what a big deal this is. A couple of little fingerprints that I got on there, but you can easily wipe those away. Now, other thing to note here, you'll notice on the pair that I got, I actually took the nose guard off, the nose bridge, simply, it just didn't work with the helmet I was using. I was using a Shoei VFX Evo helmet, and it didn't work with the nose guard that I already had installed in that helmet, so I just simply pulled that off, and you can see it's just got a few little snaps on the inside. You can just pull that right off if you don't want to use that, if it doesn't work with your existing helmet. Taking a look at the outriggers are very similar to what we saw with the racecrafts, and it simply allows you to get more curvature pressed firmly against your face. So what you'll notice is a really aggressive pre-curve which holds the foam directly against the area around your eyes. Now this is slightly redesigned in the racecraft because what you'll notice is you're still going to have a dual density foam with a third layer on the inside. But if you take a look at that inside foam, you'll now see these little needle point holes that are actually poked through the foam layers. And the idea there is that with those little injected needle points, it pushes through to this rubber gasket channel on the inside, and you'll see it right there. And that actually catches the sweat prior to it sticking down to your face. And before, with the older model, the problem was you'd go to put your helmet back on and the foam would press against your forehead and it would just squeegee all that sweat out. So it would just pool up into the bottom parts of your goggles. I haven't gotten that to do this yet. With my experience, the system does work better than the previous version. Nothing has really changed to the strap design, so there should be no surprises there. And then the biggest final thing to note here is with the hyper lens. Now, really what this is, it's a high contrast lens to give you better field of vision when you're out there riding. I would liken it to if you've ever worn a pair of polarized sunglasses. That's kind of what it felt like to me using these for the first time. Then again, these aren't polarized, but if you've ever used that, that's kind of the similarity that I've seen. Definitely an easier field of vision, especially in lower light, than what I noticed with the mirrored lenses. So very impressed so far, but again, you're now looking at $120 or around the $120 mark to get up into this, and you're still gonna have to purchase that clear lens separately. So it is definitely an investment for those of you out there that are riding in those conditions. Now, my biggest nitpick here is that so far they're only available in 11 colors. The beauty of the Akuris, where you had dozens of color options to choose from. Now, 100% has guaranteed us that there are more colors on the way, but for those of you that want to jump into these right out of the gate, you are going to be limited in your color option. But really, if for nothing else, the quick change lens system on this works flawlessly. Even if you just want to stick with the regular clears and the mirrored, it's a nice bump up for that. I do think they wick sweat away better than the previous versions of 100% goggles. And the HyperLens, I think, does a very good job. It's super clear, and I've had no issues as far as the contrasting is concerned, being too dark in low light. For me, really nice, improved set of goggles from 100%. They are going to be a larger investment. They're not going to be for everybody, but if you're out there riding regularly off-road, these are definitely something I'd be considering, especially if you're like me and you like to switch lenses throughout the day. Very easy to swap these back and forth. Now, if you want additional feedback from riders out there that are utilizing these day to day, click the info button on your desktop or mobile device, read other rider reviews, and as always, if you have additional questions, you can reach out to one of our gear geeks at 877-792-9455 or simply shoot an email over to cs@revzilla.com. I want to thank you for joining us for this look at the 100% Armega goggles. I'm Spurge. Enjoy the ride.